I can't imagine why anyone is surprised that he's going to do it. This has been, it's DNA consistent, and I'm not surprised at all. In fact, I would expect the Chinese to retaliate, and then I would expect him to do some more. And the thing to know is that each time they do, more and more of those tariffs fall on consumer goods.
And then what? I mean, how does this all play out? The president is assuming the U.S. has the leverage because our markets are going up and their markets are going down. Is that right?
Well, in a sense, that's right, because but let's talk about why their markets are going down. During the period of zero U.S. interest rates, emerging market companies, private companies, borrowed a ton of dollar debt. That dollar debt has dollar coupons. A rising interest rates and a rising dollar both kill those companies. That's why this emerging market rout has been so widespread, and it's not over yet. Inside China, the pressure directly from the tariffs is very light, which is why their government has been advertising no impact. But it's very big financially, which is why the central bank there has been pushing so much liquidity into the economy. Economy there is in some trouble.
So in that sense, John, the president is right to say that China's feeling the pressure of this trade war more, so that it could, in the end, work for President Trump.
Yeah, but let's clarify that. They're feeling the effect of the Fed increasing interest rates. That's mostly what they're feeling. That's not the trade war so much. Trade wars are dumb. Everybody loses on both sides all the time. The fact is, the first round of tariffs that Trump introduced, 90% of it was on industrial goods, 10% on consumer goods. This $200 billion is 40% consumer goods. The next round will be 80% consumer goods. That means the prices directly at Walmart go up. But the fact is, the current tariffs already are having a big impact on U.S. manufacturing, and not a good one. I was at a board meeting this last week in a factory where costs of inputs are going up at 6 or 7% a year now, and they haven't figured out how to pass it along to their customers yet. So the fact that GDP inflation was at 3.2 in the last report, and consumer price inflation was 2.1, means that difference is all in the industrial goods, and it's all putting pressure on not only profits but on financeability of manufacturing.
John, the question, though, is for how long? There's a school of thought that the president is just using these tariffs as a negotiating tactic to bring the Chinese to the table, to bring them to their knees and get what he wants, and therefore aren't going to be in place long enough to really have a damaging effect on consumer spending or the economy. Do you buy that?
The one thing you and I will never see in our lifetime, Sarah, is Xi Jinping on his knees. He's Emperor Xi now. This is a legitimate tough guy. I don't like the guy. I think he's bad for China. But the pressure inside China is to not give in to foreign direct government pressure. They're not going to cave. People think they'll cave because they don't have so many U.S. goods to tax. That's crazy. The fact is that
no, people think they'll cave because they don't have as many tools to keep their economy from getting a lot of pain inflicted and from keep their currency from falling too hard and outflows from their country. And that is the message of the market, at least if you look on a relative basis against the U.S.
That's what's hitting the markets. That's the liquidity I'm talking about. But the fact is, inside China, people who are in a living, you're looking at 6%-ish GDP growth and 8 to 10% urban income increases. They've got room there politically to be tough. But the fact is, the real pressure they've got on the U.S. isn't on exports at all. It's on U.S. companies working inside China. U.S. companies now are a huge supplier to the growing middle class in China, and they can put their thumb directly on those businesses. Now, I don't like that, and I don't like when they move in the wrong way on intellectual property protection. But we're not dealing with a weak guy here or a soft government.